Hi there, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on mat. Today we're going to bring ourselves to tingling awareness, opening up our energy pathways, unlocking the energy hidden within, using a combination of breath work and kriyas, a neat way to take rapid fire dynamic movement and blend it with pauses or holds in that movement. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify if you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to start off today's class coming into a seated frame of your choice, preferably Sukhasana or maybe Thunderbolt, facing the front end of the mat. Find your way down. I'm going to just slightly turn my body so that you've got a better point of view as we start off today's class. With a little bit of breath work, we're going to play with Surya Beda, sun-piercing breath. You're going to sit up nice and tall, however you've decided to situate yourself on the mat, and we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through the nose. For this particular exercise, the inhale is only going to be happening through the right nostril, and you're going to exhale exclusively through the left nostril. You're going to use your fingers on the right hand to control the nostril breathing. You're going to use your ring finger to open and close the left nostril, and you're going to use your thumb to open and close the right nostril. Begin your exercise by closing the left nostril. Take a big breath in through the right, let's say for 4 counts. Then close the right nostril, open and exhale left for, let's say, 8 counts. Then close the left nostril, inhale right, close it, open and exhale left. Get a steady rhythm going of your own. If you feel comfortable with these two components of breath, you're going to add in retention. So the next time you inhale, let's say for 4 counts, close the right nostril, lock your chin towards your chest, retaining your breath for maybe anywhere between 6 to 8 counts. Then release the chin lock and give me a long exhale through the left nostril for anywhere between 4 to 8 counts. Then start finding a little cycle of your own. Inhaling through the right nostril, closing it, nodding your chin to your chest and retaining your breath. Then releasing the chin lock, the Jalandhara Bandha, and opening to exhale through the left nostril. Try to play at a 1 to 2 to 2 inhalation to retention to exhalation ratio. Maybe closing your eyes, taking your focus inward. Maybe even meditating on your third eye, that little spot between the 2 eyebrows, making that your focal point. Listening to the sound of your breath as you take it in, then pausing that breath before you attune yourself to the sensation of the hot air being exhaled through the left nostril. So cool air coming in through the right, then holding or locking that energy within your body before you release the chin lock and expel the hot air through the left nostril. After your last round of Surya Beda, just drop your right hand to the legs and extend both legs out in front, giving them a little shake out and coming up into a nice tall staff pose or Dandasana. Feet are comfortably in parallel in front of you. You're trying to sit up as high as you can, giving me a nice active brace into your feet. Then we're going to begin playing with a modified Trataka. You're going to think hitchhike. You're going to make a little thumb up sign with your fisted hand. And you could use one or two hands. Today we're going to try to use two hands. You're going to keep those thumbs up nice and high, and you're going to just gaze at your thumbnails, nothing else. Maybe staring at them for 5 seconds. Then closing your eyes, trying to visualize those thumbnails without sight, and then opening again to stare at them. You're going to open and close the eyes, blinking on and off a few times, trying to visualize those thumbs in front of you. Then keeping that high hand position, eyes either open or closed, depending on how good your concentration is today. You're going to gently begin seesawing back and forth in a rapid fire movement. Exhaling as you come forward and inhaling as you lean back. Trying to keep that high thumb position. If your eyes are closed, you're going to visualize those thumbs in front of you. Then come to stillness, somewhere between your seesaw, evenly weighted, and you're going to lift and hold the right leg off the floor, even if it's just an inch or two. Drop the right leg down, drop the fingertips down, feel that little tingle of energy in the legs, just give them a little shake out. We're going to rinse and repeat on the other side. Find your high thumbnail position and start playing with Trataka. Focus on the thumbnails, nothing else. Then close your eyes and see if you can still visualize those two thumbnails in front of you. Open the eyes again, stare at your thumbnails. Then close the eyes and see if you can still see those thumbnails in front of you. Keeping the eyes closed if you can this round, you're going to begin your little seesaw back and forth, trying to keep that high arm line. Exhaling as you lean forward and inhaling as you lean back. Keep pulling the belly button gently into center. Give me 2 more little seesaws. Then come to stillness, still with the eyes closed if you can. Lift, hold, and hover the left leg off the floor, pulling up really strongly from the pelvic floor towards your waistline. Then blink the eyes open, drop your fingertips to the mat, give your legs a little shake out, and ease your way into Sukhasana, easy sit, leading with whichever leg in front you're most comfortable with. I'm going to start with my right leg. You're going to place your hands palms down on the top of your thighs, and you're going to give me a little Kundalini spiral, moving clockwise towards your right knee, maybe closing the eyes, taking your focus inward, maybe meditating on the third eye. Inhaling as you come forward, and then pulling the diaphragm in towards the midline as you come back. Come to stillness. Place your hands on your lower belly and give me 3 rounds of cleansing breath or Kapalabhati. Give me a rapid fire inhale and exhale through the nose. As you exhale, you're going to pump or think of tucking the lower belly underneath the rib cage. You're going to give me 15 pumps. Take a big breath in. Take a long exhale. 1 more long inhale and exhale, and then 15 more pumps when you're ready. Drop your hands to the tops of your knees and give yourself a recovery breath or 2. Take a big breath in and then drop your left hand to the floor alongside your body, maybe just fingertips or the whole palm. Soften through the elbow and the shoulder, and then arc and frame on the right. And then start repeating that movement side to side in a soft, flowing motion, dropping down on one arm as you arc and frame on the other. Try to keep that length through the spine as you play with that off-center drop. You're going to end dropped on the right, and you're going to hold that arc and frame, maybe keeping your gaze down on the mat, or if you'd like to, you can turn your gaze towards the ceiling. Try to open up the left rib cage as much as you can towards the sky. Then peel back to center, keep your left leg bent and extend the right leg towards the front corner of the mat, allowing the sole of the foot to just place softly on the inseam of the right leg. Bend your elbows, tuck your elbows in towards your waistline, palms are looking up to the ceiling, and you're going to pretend that your fingertips are a little spade. You're going to dig into the earth and come back to your start position. Use your breath. You're going to end low, digging into the earth. You're going to hold that position, and you're just going to slowly nod your head, yes. So nodding your chin towards your chest, and then coming back into neutral. Then bleed up. Find your way into a little butterfly line by bringing the soles of your feet together, knees open, fingertips on the floor behind you, and you're going to flap your knees towards your chest and towards the floor. Drop the knees away from you towards the floor on a long exhale and just hold the stretch, almost pushing off your fingertips and trying to grow your crown chakra towards the ceiling. Then ease your way back into easy sit, this time left leg in front of the right. You're going to find your little Kundalini spiral, closing your eyes, taking your focus inward. Working anti-clockwise this time. Nice big inhale as you come forward. Exhale and think of pulling in the lower belly and almost trying to tuck it underneath your rib cage as you draw back. Almost like a slower version of that little breath work that we played with just now, making it more of a bellows breath. Then come to stillness along the midline. Place your hands on your lower belly. We're going to do 2 rounds of Kapalabhati. Pump for 15 breaths. Take a recovery breath or 2 between rounds. And when you're ready, begin round 2. After your last round, drop your hands palms down to the top of your thighs. Give yourself a recovery breath or 2. And then when you're ready, begin that little side drop, dropping your left hand to the mat, heavy through the arm as you arc and frame on the right. And then begin flowing side to side, making one arm heavy to the floor as you arc and frame on the other side, syncing your movement to your breath. So exhale as you drop off center towards the floor, and then inhale gently to transition. You're going to end with your drop hold on the left this time, looking down to the floor with your eyes or maybe gazing gently up to the ceiling as you try to open up as much as you can through the right side of your rib cage, breathing as deeply as you can into that side of the ribs. Come back to center. Keep your right leg bent And extend the left leg, aiming towards the left corner of the mat. You're going to find your little head to knee position. You're going to tuck those elbows in towards your waistline, palms looking up to the ceiling. You're going to dig in the dirt with your spade. You're going to end low, you're going to hold, and you're going to think of just gently nodding a slow yes. So think of nodding your head gently up and down to look towards your navel, and maybe up to gently look over the tips of your toes. You're going to ease your way from here into a little butterfly line again. Placing your fingertips on the floor behind you. You're going to think of hugging your knees towards your ears and away using a rapid fire breathing pattern. End low and hold. Make your kneecaps as heavy as you can to the floor. Maybe if you look between your feet, it might almost look like the segments of a grapefruit being peeled apart. And then find your way from here back into Sukhasana, easy sit, this time right leg in front of left. You're going to place your fingertips on your shoulders. Let's do pinkies to the front today and thumbs to the back. And you're going to keep your elbow points nice and wide, and you're going to give me half a helicopter spin side to side. Trying to keep those elbows as parallel to the floor as you can. Use your breath. Exhale as you come into the twist. Inhale to transition. Hold the twist to the left. Reach long through your elbow points. Ease your way back to center. And then think of drawing your elbows up to the ceiling and down towards the floor. So if you need a visual cue, you can think of the corkscrew that you use to open up a wine bottle. Or you can think angel wings, flapping those elbows gently up and down. End hugging the elbows towards your ears on a big inhale. And then on a long exhale, drop your elbows heavy to the floor. Then from here, you're going to find your way back into butterfly. You can either hold onto your feet, or you could elect to keep your fingertips on the mat behind you as you rock bum cheek to bum cheek. As you rock onto one bum cheek, drop that whole knee to the floor. Keep your belly button softly pulled into center and try to give me the longest spine that you can comfortably manage. Then come back to center. Reach forward, maybe for your toes or maybe for the floor, and just softly drape yourself forward, almost hollowing out your belly and trying to get a nice stretch into the back of your ribs. So think of the skin over your back being stretched tight like the skin over a drum. Bleed up from your butterfly line, Baddha Konasana, and tuck back into easy sit. This time, you're leading with the left leg in front of the right. Find that sense of length through the spine. Set up your little half a helicopter line, fingertips touching your shoulder line, and you're going to rapid fire give me half a helicopter side to side using your breath. You're going to hold that twist to the right If you like, you could even open up your fingertips and try to reach one set of fingertips to the wall behind you and one set of fingertips to the wall in front of you. Then tap your fingertips back to your shoulder, come back to neutral. Think of that little wine corkscrew. You're going to flap your elbows up and down in an angel-like arc, angel wing, and you're going to use your breath. You're going to end high, elbows towards the ceiling on a huge inhale, filling your lungs to max capacity. Then on a long exhale, drop your elbows and your shoulders towards the floor and hold. Almost like a steam escaping from a pressure cooker. Ease your way into your butterfly line, either holding onto your tootsies or placing your fingertips on the floor behind you. And find your bum cheek to bum cheek rock, kneading out those little tension spots in the bum. Use your breath. Exhale to drop, inhale to transition. Last one. Hold your butterfly line steady. Maybe reaching for your toes or draping your fingertips on the mat and just folding softly forward, allowing for a slightly hollow belly and a slightly rounded spine. Ease your way from here back into Sukhasana. This time we're going to lead with the right leg in front of the left. We're going to do some bum bumps. So you're going to drop your fingertips to the mat. Give me high spider fingertips so it feels like you're pushing off the very tips of your fingers. Look down towards your pubis. Lift your bum off the mat and then thump it to the mat as you lift your fingertips off. And give me a couple of bumps, exhaling every time you drop your bum and inhaling as you transition. You're going to end high and hold on a long inhale, bum off the mat, pushing off your feet, looking towards your pubis. And then on a long exhale, drop your bum into the mat. Then holding onto your front shin and maybe ankle, you're going to think of giving me a seated cat-cow. Inhale to drop your elbows towards your waist and give me a nice curve through the spine, maybe gently looking up to the ceiling and stretching, opening up to your chest, your throat, your third eye and the crown. And then on an exhale, nod your chin to your chest and round out in cat. On your last one, you're going to end in that cat shape. You're going to apply all three bandhas. You're going to pull up the pelvic floor, squeeze in the diaphragm, apply the chin lock, effectively trapping that air in your body, giving your body an opportunity to use the oxygen that you took in on the inhale. Ease your way back to a long spine, taking a long inhale in. Floating your legs into butterfly, and this time wrapping your hands underneath your feet so it feels like you're cupping around your ankles. You're going to hold that position and you're going to gently rock your way back and forth. Just a few times, pulling yourself forward and backwards, hands tucked underneath your ankles. Then see what it feels like when you rock your way bum cheek to bum cheek, still trying to keep that wrap position around your ankles. Move with your breath. Come to stillness. Make your feet heavy to the floor. Make your shoulders rise up to the ceiling with your spine. Make your kneecaps heavy to the floor. Tuck back into easy sit, this time leading with your left leg in front of your right, and set yourself up for your little bum thumps. When you're ready, you're going to lift and lower and thump that butt into the mat. End high and hold on a big inhale, pushing off your feet. And then on a long exhale, drop and hold. Allow all that steam to escape. All right, find your grasp position on the front leg. So maybe one hand holding the shin, maybe one hand holding the ankle. And start your seated cat-cow. Inhale as you find the cow. Exhale as you find the cat. Two more, and then on your last one, you're going to take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to apply all three locks. Pull up the pelvic floor, squeeze in the diaphragm, apply the chin lock, effectively trap that air in your trunk. Allow your body an opportunity to use all that delicious oxygen you took in on the inhale. And then when you're ready to come out, undo the chin lock, then the diaphragm lock, then the pelvic floor lock. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in, lengthen through the spine as best you can, and then bleed your way from here back into your butterfly line, tucking your hands underneath your ankles. You're going to play with that gentle rock forwards and backwards, using your breath. You can play up the breath pattern, but just make sure that you're inhaling and exhaling. Then see what it feels like to rock the weight bum cheek to bum cheek, trying to keep your hands wrapped underneath your ankles and your feet. Come to stillness with the weight evenly placed on the two bum cheeks. Make your feet heavy into the mat. Make your knees heavy into the mat. Make your shins heavy into the mat. And pull up through the shoulders and your crown towards the ceiling. So it feels like there's energy traveling down and energy traveling up simultaneously. From here, you're going to bleed your way into a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat, and you're going to set yourself up for some cat-cows. Come into a tabletop line with your hands stacking underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hip points. We're going to work a dynamic, rapid cat-cow. Inhaling to give me a concave shape through the back, and then exhaling to round out and starting to move dynamically between the two frames rapidly for a few rounds. Then take a big inhale in, and on a long exhale, come into cat and apply your three locks. Pull up the pelvic floor, squeeze in the diaphragm, and apply the chin lock. Holding that beautiful stretch into your back. Ease your way into a neutral long tabletop line, somewhere between your cat and your cow. And then sit back into a modified child. Maybe big toes together, knees softly splayed out, and cup the arms alongside the body. Back of the hands connected to the mat, palms looking up, with your forehead preferably connected to the mat. Stay here, breathing as deeply as you can into the back of your ribs, or start moving dynamically between child and hare pose by rocking the weight off your forehead and onto the crown as you come into an almost kneeling position, and then bleed back to your child. Inhaling as you come into hare, and then exhaling as you push back into child. Give me 2 more rocks, and then you're going to try to end in hare, and you're going to hold the hare pose. If you'd like to come into a mini inversion, you can maybe place your hands halfway between the knees and the feet, tuck your toes under, pike your bum up to the ceiling, either staying there or walking the feet in, and coming into a quarter headstand by bending your elbows, finding a resting spot on your tricep for your knees, and easing your way into that quarter headstand. If the quarter headstand is not for you today, maybe just gently finding your way into hare pose and trying to hold there with a little bit of pressure on your crown, the Sahasrara chakra. When you're ready to come out of your inversion, you're just going to ease your way back into child pose, draping the arms alongside the body, weight resting gently on your third eye. Then see if you can interlace the hands behind your back, making a little fist, and lifting and lowering that fist towards the ceiling and towards your tailbone. Use your breath. End high towards the ceiling and hold that stretch. Feel that delicious stretch into the shoulders. Then unclasp the fists. Drape the hands on the floor in front of you. Bend the elbows, stacking one palm on top of the other. Resting your forehead on the back with your top hand, and maybe just gently rocking your head temple to temple. Getting a little massage through that third eye. Breathing as deeply as you can into the back of your ribs. Come to stillness and peel up into a kneeling frame, preferably into Thunderbolt, with your knees together and your feet together, sitting your bum back onto your heels. Drop your fingertips to the mat. We're going to work the top of the feet and the knees here. You're going to think of pulling up from your pubic bone towards your belly button line, and see if you can lift and lower those knees off the floor in a little flapping motion. There's quite an intense stretch into the ankles and the top of your feet. Use your breath. End high and hold. Keeping the knees off the floor, pushing off your spider fingertips, and really enjoying that awesome stretch into the ankles and the feet. Then gently drop the knees down to the floor. Think of coming into a 4-point kneel, but this time on your spider fingertips. Tuck the toes under, get a little stretch into the arches of your feet. Lift your knees up off the floor, and then hop up and cross the ankles behind you And sit up nice and tall into staff pose, extending the legs out in front. Find Jupiter Mudra by interlacing your fingers, bringing the index fingers together and crossing the thumbs. Try to keep your palms in line with your shoulders. Brace into your feet and then bum walk forward to the front of your mat. All the way to the top edge of your mat. If you've got short legs, it's quite a way. And then creep your way back to about halfway. Bend the knees, connect the soles of your feet to the mat. We're coming into a little dynamic roll. Make sure you've got enough runway behind you. You're going to tuck into a little ball, maybe coming right onto the tips of your toes. Feel as if you're drawing your knees in towards your chest. You're going to pretend somebody's pressing on your breastbone. You're going to hollow out your belly, round out your back, rock as far as your shoulder blades and back up. Maybe hovering your toes off the mat. You can give me maybe 5 little tight tucks. And then maybe start opening up the legs, giving me a soft mini forward fold. You can keep the knees as bent as you need to. And then a mini plow, rocking onto your shoulders. At first, keep those knees softly bent. And then as the back starts releasing, you can maybe begin extending the legs. Use your breath. Maybe even tapping the toes to the floor overhead. You're going to end in a forward fold, just softly draping over the top of your thighs. Maybe fingertips, palms, or forearms to the floor, or maybe you've managed to drape your hands over your toes. You could use a strap around the feet if you like. Just hold a soft forward fold. Give me a few gentle breath cycles here. And then you're going to find your way from here onto the back. Maybe just sitting up nice and tall, dropping the fingertips to the mat behind you and creeping your way maybe onto the elbow points and then onto the back. Float your hands overhead. Bend your knees and connect the soles of your feet to the mat. We're going to work a dynamic double dead bug. On an exhale, you're going to draw the knees into table. You're going to scoop to peel up off your shoulders. You're going to push against your knees and then come back to your start position. You're going to do that a few times dynamically. Make sure you're pushing and resisting as you scoop to peel up. So it feels like the knees are pushing into your hands and your hands are trying to push the knees away at the same time. End and hold, pushing actively, palms and knees working in opposition. Hold. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Then gently drop the sole of your left foot to the floor and hug your right knee in towards your chest a few times. Exhaling as you draw the knee in towards your chest and inhaling as the knee draws away. End with the knee hugged in towards your chest as tight as you can on the right, grounding softly off your left foot. And then see if you can wrap your hands around the back of the right thigh, maybe interlacing and making a little basket. You're going to bend and extend through the right leg as if you were trying to kick the ceiling away from you. End with the leg extended and hold. If this feels good, you might want to scoop off your shoulders, maybe bleed your hands up and slide them closer towards your ankle line. Then bleed your shoulders and your head back to the mat. Drop the arms at your side in T and bring your legs into a soft tabletop line with your knees and your feet flush against the midline of the body. Take a big breath in and drop both knees just off center to the left while you look to the right. Pause. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to drop to the right. You're going to give me 5 more iterations side to side, almost rocking through the spine in a soft rolling-like action. Each time you come back to side 1, you try to drop those knees progressively closer to the floor so that you start feeling a little bit more twist each time into the lower back. Knees moving in one direction, head moving in the opposite direction. You're going to end for me with the knees dropped as far as you can to the right, preferably both knees on the floor if you can, or holding at whatever your maximum range of motion is, and you're going to try to ground through the opposite shoulder. Bleed your way softly back to center and give me some double knee hugs. Hugging both knees in towards your chest and then allowing them to draw away, getting a nice little release into your lower back as you play with a little Pavanmuktasana. Nice little cleansing breath. End tucked in as tight as you can. Scoop to peel up off the shoulders as if you wanted to tap your knees to your nose. Hold that tight little ball frame. Then drop the soles of the feet to the mat. Float your hands overhead. Take a recovery breath or 2. And then when you're ready, you're going to begin your double dead bugs, working dynamically. Scooping to peel up, drawing the legs into table, pushing with the hands, and then coming back to your start position for a few dynamic rounds. In scoot, push and resist and hold for a count of 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Drop the sole of the left foot to the floor. Drop your head and your shoulders to the mat. And start dynamically drawing the left knee in towards your chest and then away from your chest. Syncing it to your breathing pattern. Exhale as you tuck in. Inhale as the knee draws away. End in a little tuck on the left. Hold that stretch. Pushing softly off your grounding foot. And then see if you can wrap both hands around the back of your thigh. Begin dynamically extending and bending through the left leg, trying to take the whole sole of that foot up towards the ceiling. End in an extension, holding an A-line stretch, pushing the ceiling away with the whole sole of your foot. And then if that feels good, you might even scoop to peel up off the shoulders, sliding the arms up as if you were making your way closer towards your ankle line. And then bend both knees, coming into a tabletop line, opening up your arms into T. You're going to start that side to side drop, giving me maybe 5 or 6 iterations of that soft, almost tick-tocking position. And you can either give me palms up or palms down, whichever feels the most intuitive for you today. Almost rolling through the spine as you play with that action. Find a rhythm of your own. Move where your breath takes you. You're going to end for me with both knees dropped as far as you can to the left while you look to the right, trying to ground through your right shoulder as best you can. Inhale and bleed back to center. You're going to give me those double knee tucks. Just pulling the knees in towards your chest on the exhale. And then on the inhale, allow them to softly fall away and try to release any tension into the sacrum area that you might be feeling. Pavanmuktasana, a nice little cleansing breath. Last one. We're going to find our way into a comfortable bridge-like setup, bending the knees and connecting the soles of the feet. And we're going to end off today's class with the reverse breath work that we began with. We're going to play with moon-piercing breath, Chandra Veda. Just relax the left arm at your side, palm up or down. You're going to use your right hand, ring finger to control the opening and the closing of the left nostril, thumb to control the opening and the closing of the right nostril. Close your eyes, take your focus inward. Start by closing the right nostril and taking a big inhale in through the left. Then close the left nostril and exhale right. Rinse and repeat. Only inhaling through the left and only exhaling through the right. Playing at a 1 to 2 inhalation to exhalation ratio. So if you're inhaling for 3, you're going to exhale for 6. If you're playing at 4 to 8, maybe 5 to 10. And if you're uncomfortable here, you can add that mini retention. So let's say inhaling for 3 counts through the left, closing it, nodding your chin softly down to hold your breath for 6. Then releasing the chin nod and opening to exhale right. Find a rhythm of your own. As you're breathing and finding your breath cycle, keep the back of your ribs nice and heavy into the mat. Keeping your eyes closed and your focus totally inward. Make this your last round of Chandra Veda. And then gently drop both arms at your side. Give yourself a recovery breath or 2. Flutter open the eyes. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Cradle rock your lower back out. Feel the body tingling with all that latent energy that you woke up during today's practice. And then when you're ready to come off your back and end off your practice for today, just gently roll over onto one side and push yourself up into a seated frame of your choice. Sitting up as tall as you can, take a big breath in, floating the hands overhead and coming down into active prayer, and then moving in a cyclical pattern. Big breath in as you circle the arms, exhale as you bring them down in active prayer. Few rounds. And if sitting back in Thunderbolt is not for you, maybe coming into a high kneeling frame, circling the arms as you inhale, exhaling as you come down in active prayer. Last one. Ending with your hands in front of your heart on the words Namaste. Thank you for coming out and playing with me today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Shoot me your comments below. Make sure your notifications are on. Until we meet on the mat today, keep it light.